Slide accordingly.
Yo, what's the deal? Realest, slide accordingly. So I seen the clip making its way around. Corey Holcomb. Almost didn't know how to say the man's name. Not that it's really important, but this ain't the first time he done went viral or has been talked about for talking about people. Is he one of them dudes who gets every single one of his views off of what you call shock value? Because he come off as a real spiteful dude, man. He come off as a real hateful person. He come off like he jealous. He come off like he really be hating on folks. Known for talking crazy about folks. But the thing is, that's how he make his money too. So he know what he be doing and he know exactly what he be saying. He was speaking on Martin Lawrence. Now, Martin, goated, right? One of my favorite comedians of all time. There ain't too many who come close to him as far as I'm concerned. I grew up off of Martin. He done did everything that a comedian could do, from stand-up to movies to television. The man done did it all, right? Now, Corey was talking about how in today's time, how Martin is trash. He's one of the worst comics out there is what he was saying. Now, there's nothing too crazy about that. That's his opinion. But then he got into talking about, I took it as a shot at the man's health, which is so distasteful. What he said was, the brother can't even talk. You know, if anybody who follow Martin or you're a fan of him, you know, he had some health issues. He had a situation where folks was concerned. And it was like, damn, it's too bad to hear that. My thing about Corey, right? I feel like he should have just left it at Martin is trash. I feel like he should just left it there. Because your show is based off of making people laugh. So it's like, why would you even go further like that? To sit there, it's like fool, you can't even talk. That's how I took it. That's how I take it. And a lot of people took it like that. Like, he's already one of the most hated comedians, but he did that to himself because he's known for running that mouth, man. Very ignorant, very inconsiderate. The nigga just got nasty energy about himself. Just looking in Corey Holcomb's face, you just get a negative vibe. You just get disgusted because you know the type of energy and the personality that you're dealing with. You ever just look in somebody's face and you can like, there's something about this motherfucker right here. Without them even saying a word, you can look in the eyes. You can look in through the window of their eyes and just like, there's something about this fool I want no parts of. It just feel a nasty spirit come. That's Corey. That's Corey. And he proves it. The nigga just ain't shit to me, fam. And I always looked at him like that. But he seemed like he don't mind it, especially with this one, because it wasn't necessary to really throw that little shot. You're talking about somebody who paved the way for you to be doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, to try to like clown that man like that, when it's like you could really only hope. Whether you want to say Martin is not the best comedian in today's time, right now, 2025, present day, the man done did it all. His time was back then. He already done killed. He done made his money. Whether he decides to stop right now or not, the fact that he's still here and he's still trying to do his thing, that tells you longevity and legacy. Those are the words for that. And honestly, yeah, you could only hope to do some of the things that Martin has done, bro. There's a way to be successful without trying to tear other motherfuckers down, especially another brother. We tend to do that a lot. I really think it's a shame a nigga like Corey Holcomb even got supporters. But that goes back to what I say all the time. Damn if I don't say it all the time. All you gotta do is know how to make people laugh and have a little bit of influence, have a platform, and anybody can have an audience. Nobody special. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, you don't have to do all of that. You wonder, like, he does know that, right? Like, damn, the nigga never watch any of his shows back and say, well, you know what, that wasn't really necessary. I ain't had to say that. But you see, he has to keep that up because that's what his audience is accustomed to. And them folks who be sitting up there with him, going along with every word that the man say. I hate that type of audience. I hate that type of person who just go along with everything that a motherfucker say, no matter how wrong it is, no matter how ignorant, no matter how fucked up, disrespectful it is. They'll go along with everything, won't stand up on their own too and say, listen, you ain't have to do all that. You know, it looked like a lame ass crowd. It looked like some suckers, you know, but it take one to know one. I definitely feel like Corey's a sucker. He's a sucker. And I halfway want to say anybody who even like watching it, I feel like you a sucker for real. I want to go that far with it. Well, I guess I already did, because I'm just trying to understand how do people even entertain a nigga like that, bro? I've been trying to understand it. It's every once in a while I see his name pop up in the mentions for some shit that he said. It's like, oh, he's still at it, huh? He's still at it. But you see, people love that type of shit. People love that negative talk. When you got a motherfucker who can drag somebody else, as long as it ain't them, they gonna laugh at it. Even if they take a shot at another motherfucker health. I think it's a damn shame. I think it just go to show you that anybody literally can be famous. Anybody can have a platform. As long as you have a little bit of sense of humor, a little bit of personality, you can have a platform. And when you get that platform, you got the influence. It's that simple. But the hate don't look good on you, my guy. Like, it's evident. Everybody should have an opinion. But to have an opinion, you don't have to cross a particular line to get your point across. What do you get out of taking a shot at Martin like that? Because this, like I say, other people might not take it like that. But that's how I take it. Because you know his sense of style. You know his sense of humor. Like, why do I feel like, because he say Martin can't talk. Like, you know, the brother can't talk. Whatever happened to him. You know, like low-key making a mockery without actually laughing, right? Here's the funny thing about it. Here's the only funny thing about it. Let's say Martin couldn't talk, right? If Martin sat on a stage for 30 minutes completely silent, I'm willing to bet every dollar in my pocket that more people would go to watch him instead of coming to watch you talk for a whole hour. There's nothing funny about a nigga who laughs at his own shit, bro. You got folks like Jimmy Kimmel, who looked like he was on the verge of getting canceled for what he was saying. Why don't you cancel this nigga? Cancel Corey Holcomb. Personally feel that the entertainment world would be a lot better without a nigga like that. He's corny. He's a sucker. And on the real, I don't know who's worse. A nigga like him who says the most ignorant shit he could think of, or the fools who sit there and listen and laugh at the shit that he be saying. Because that means you got to have a similar mindset to think that a nigga like that is actually funny. Motherfuckers like him and Charleston White and others, like motherfuckers like y'all will really sit there and say anything just for niggas to watch y'all ass. And guess what? They gonna watch their ass because there's always gonna be an audience. You got to stand for something. You got to stand for something. Everything ain't meant to be said and everything ain't a joke. I will never give those type of niggas any type of views, bro. Only reason I even know he said that was because the clip was going around on other platforms. That will be the only way I ever know of anything that a Corey Holcomb has to say. I promise you all. I can assure you. Suckers can have platforms too.